Streaming is computationally taxing, not only on the PC, but also on the user, with several things to monitor, gameplay to concentrate on, and multiple actions to perform at any given time. Simplifying this process can allow the streamer to focus more on the gameplay and on his or her audience, improving the experience for the viewer. That's what Elgato set out to do with the Stream Deck. An awesome tool that basically works as a quick launch for scene changes, macros, animations, or basically anything else you can think of. But some people don't necessarily need 15 buttons, and that's why this exists, the Stream Deck Mini. Ready to dive into custom water cooling but unclear about what parts you might need? Check out Thermaltake's new M360 Plus RGB kit. Featuring a D5 pump res combo, 16mm hard tube, Pacific C Pro fittings, and the best RGB implementation on the market, the M360 Plus fits all mainstream Intel and AMD sockets and is fully expandable as your system evolves. Check out the link in the video description to learn more. I'm going to kick things off by just disclosing that Corsair did send me over both the Stream Deck OG and the Stream Deck Mini for this review. But this is in no way a paid advertisement or a sponsored video. I just really like them after using them for a while. I don't want to tell you guys why. Since the acquisition of Elgato by Corsair, all appearances indicate that they are still being allowed to function mostly independently, and that's definitely a good thing. I've been using Elgato products for years and have been impressed with their functionality and their ease of use. Their HD60S has captured test bench footage and enabled live streams on this channel since it was released. And their new little cam link will do the same thing when I'm on the go or at trade shows. The company is serious about game capture and streaming, and the success of the Stream Deck definitely proves it. I use mine in a actually fairly simple way. In fact, I only populate a few of the 15 available buttons for functions like launching OBS and switching from desktop view to picture-in-picture to full camera. So it would actually make more sense for me to have one of these, the Stream Deck Mini. Let's get it out of the packaging and take a closer look. All right, just a couple things here. And then that slides out like that. Pretty nice. And can we get it out of there? I think it's stuck. All right, so here is the Stream Deck. And then it also comes with some documentation up here. We got a little instruction book, quick start guide, and then Elgato's trademark tiny manual or tiny warranty information. Very tiny something. Very tiny something. But I think that's all that comes in here. I don't see any other way to get this out. So I'm pretty sure that this is what we got. Now we have obviously the USB cable that's non-detachable, so you can't swap it out or anything like that. But for the most part, this is going to be standing on your desk by itself and not really moving all that much. Looks like the bottom actually has some plastic covering the rubber pads, so that's, I guess, to keep it fresh. But there we go. There is the Elgato Stream Deck Mini. The Mini actually has 100% of the functionality of the original, just less buttons. But the fact that you can create folders inside of folders inside of folders on each of the 6 buttons means that you lose actually nothing from the original, and it takes up far less desk space if that's an actual concern. The unit itself measures about 3 inches wide by 2 inches deep at the base and stands only about 2 inches high. It's definitely heavier than it might initially look and has this nice rubber pad at the bottom to help prevent it from sliding around on your desk when you're mashing on the buttons. It actually in practice does a better job of this than the full-size unit, as you can see that I'm hitting this pretty hard and it doesn't really move very much at all. The Mini feels really solidly constructed with the same excellent tactile buttons as the original. The buttons are kind of where the magic lies, as because they are clear with a small LCD screen behind them, you can program literally any icon, photo, or text to be displayed. So your buttons will look exactly the way you want them to, and they will say exactly what you want them to say. The software interface is amazingly simple and intuitive, and in some cases is as easy as just drag and drop. I'm gonna move over to my editing system, and I'm gonna take this with me, and we're gonna see exactly how the software works. So here we are in the Stream Deck software. We have a virtual representation of our 6 buttons here on the left, and then on the right, Elgato provides us with a whole bunch of functions that are tailor-made for what streamers might need the most. There's stuff for Twitch, there's stuff for XSplit. If you go all the way to the top, there's game capture software, and then there's OBS Studio. Now I use OBS Studio a lot when I am streaming to YouTube, and to be honest with you, the thing that I use my Stream Deck most for when I am streaming is to switch scenes. And that's one of the functions that Elgato provides you built into the software. The way that you use this is you literally take scene, you click it over here, you drag it, and you drop it. And now we have our scene switch on the top left button, but it doesn't do anything just yet. What it actually does is it will pull information from OBS, and it knows what scenes you have pre-configured. So if you hit this drop down, it shows you, I have very originally named my scenes as scene and scene 2, but I also have camera, picture-in-picture, window select, and so let's just say we want to make this so that this scene switch button activates my camera. So when I hit it, it gives a full screen view of my face when I'm streaming. So I hit camera only, and then I can change the title so that it'll display it on a little text on the icon. We'll just say camera, and then it populates the text on here. And then to make it even easier to recognize what exactly this is, you can hit a drop down, you can change the icon. So select from file, and I'm gonna actually put a picture of the actual camera that I use, the Sony a7 III. And then we have on the button now a picture of my camera, the word camera, and this will switch scenes for us. So now we want to do the rest of the scenes, and it's the same thing. We just drag, we'll drop, we'll drag, and we'll drop. This scene will make picture in picture, and we'll call this Pip, not Pippy, just Pip. And then this one will make window only. We'll call it appropriately. Wow, my typing is great. Window. Now we have our 3 functions here. These are all scene switch, and they're all at very easy access just with one touch of the button. But we run into an issue. Now we have all 6 buttons, but half of them are populated with just scene switching. So how do we remedy that? It's really easy, to be honest with you. You come up here, you come over to, let's just say the first one, you right click and you hit move to folder. Now it moves this into its own dedicated folder, which you can then title scenes. And then you can take the rest and drag it over and hold, drop it there, come up, take this one, on scenes, drop it here. And now you have one folder on here that says scenes, that when you hit this button, you now have the option to scene switch on the Stream Deck. So let's just say you're a big Adobe user and you want a quick way to shortcut in and launch your programs. You use Adobe Premiere, you use Media Encoder, you use After Effects. You literally just take the shortcuts to the exe, drag it, and you drop it. And now anytime you hit this Premiere, it will actually start up Adobe Premiere and pop you right into the welcome screen. But now you face the same problem. You have 3 icons here and you only have 6. So what do? We move to a folder, move this to a folder, move this to a folder, and then we call the folder Adobe. And then we have everything nice and clean. We move this, let's say move this up here, and then we take these and get rid of them, and there we go. So now we have Adobe Premiere open. What are we going to do in it? Well, one of the cool things that you can do in Premiere is you can create key bindings. Now, Premiere has a number of keyboard shortcuts, but it usually involves hitting 2 or 3 keys at once. And if you want to just simplify, we lost it. If you want to just simplify that, you could actually just come down to System. You could click Hotkey. You could drag over, and one of the hotkeys is Control-Shift-D, and that's for audio transition. So once you've dragged over your hotkey, click here to assign Control-Shift-D. Now you have this hotkey right here that points to Control-Shift-D, and when you are in Adobe Premiere, you select a transition, you hit your hotkey, and now you have your audio transition automatically popping right up and onto your project. So you guys can see how easy this is to use. It's actually very intuitive. It's a lot of drag and drop, and because you can create folders inside of folders inside of folders, you basically have limitless functionality as far as what you can put in here, and you could use it for almost any function of the PC. You could drop EXEs, you could do key bindings, you could do shortcuts within programs. It makes your workflow so much easier, and I use mine all the time for this very reason. Both the Stream Deck and the Stream Deck Mini are fantastic tools for streamers. That much is definitely obvious. But because of their almost limitless functionality and their ability to be used as a quick launch for almost any program, shortcut, website, game, or software function on your PC, they are actually something that basically anybody can use. With the mini version coming in at under $100, I can honestly recommend that anybody who spends significant time in front of their PC consider picking one up if you think that it can help streamline your workflow. I know that for me, it definitely has. So that's a quick look at the Elgato Stream Deck and the Stream Deck Mini. Let me know what you think of them down below in the comments. Also, don't forget to get subscribed to the channel. If you're not already, consider supporting BPS Customs directly by checking out the link in the description to our brand new merch store. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you next time.